Oh, I remember why I was talking about the name of the
Yeah.
I was introducing that's Greer.
Oh, yeah. Hello. I'm
You might
Greer.
know her from the podcast you're watching currently,
Mm-hmm.
or
It's kind of it for
being
me.
my friend in Philadelphia.
You might know me from watching this episode for a second time.
Yeah. You might, if you're a lot of how movies sometimes have rewatchability because it's like hidden messages. So you're like,
Yeah.
there's background stuff or whatever.
We gotta chock this full of
Like,
Easter eggs.
yeah.
For,
For the second time viewers.
for the second time viewers.
Like,
Yeah.
you do something with your hand over there. I'll do something with my hand, and then they'll have to watch a second time to know what. Yeah. See,
You
they
know
couldn't have possibly seen both of our hands at the same time.
Oh, I thought you had to know what that meant. I was like, yeah, that's a second time watchers will understand.
Oh, that too.
Yeah.
Maybe later it'll be like we'll have a really funny
develop the
joke.
meaning of that through the show.
That's right. It'll be like
In a way
Plato's-
where you're like, I want to watch that knowing what it meant the whole time. Like, I just did one of the number one things you told me not to do,
Oh.
which is I flicked the mic.
Oh yeah. That's okay.
I'm never gonna do that again.
I don't. I've got some rules for the podcast.
He's got a lot. Do the viewers know how many rules you have?
What are there, 3?
Yeah, it's like, don't touch the mic this way,
No
this
set.
way, or this way.
Yeah, I'm just trying to make the mic sound. Just 3 rules are: the mic is hold it good, and then stay in the video frame for the video people, and then what's the last one?
There's no gossip.
That's right. I'm trying not to do any gossip.
Which I was saying, first of all, I really like that rule. I didn't say that at the time.
Yeah.
But I really like that rule.
It's kind of gossip about our past selves in a sense.
Yeah. Self gossip. What?
Why do you like that rule? Have you been burned by it in the past?
No, I do feel like podcasts have gotten so gossipy. It's
true.
mean spirited. I really don't. I like to gossip in my personal life, but I really think it's so crazy to talk about people publicly at all. I'm like, keep people's names out of your mouth. I genuinely believe I think it's a nasty look.
Nasty.
It's nasty behavior.
That's true.
It is.
A lot of these podcasts are like talking about got these people talking about these guys who like killed people. It's like, hey, let him live his life.
Wait, that was happening?
Oh, like these true crime podcasts.
Oh. I thought you meant on your podcast. I thought that was like why you made the rule.
Oh, no.
You're like,
yeah.
I was like, all right, this has gone too far. No gossip starting now. Yeah, oh, absolutely. Yeah, true crime, that's straight gossip.
Yeah, ironically, if I told you why I made the rule, it would be gossip.
Oh, now
Not funny.
now
No, it's not that bad. It just I had a guest come on. He
Let
knows.
me guess,
He knows.
they
He knows who
gossiped?
he is. we it was like too gossipy, and I was like, this is not good. We should.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's a good rule.
Yeah. So we like.
Now I like
scrapped it.
only want to gossip. I'm like, it's a good rule. I just don't have anything else to offer all of a sudden.
Do you ever, what if you had a podcast? What would the rules be?
I had a podcast.
And what would you call it?
I had a podcast for like 2 seconds with
Did you?
John Riggy, but I didn't think that I was doing a good job, so I aborted the whole thing. But it was supposed to be like a fake Anthropology kind of.
Like the Urban Outfitters store? Or do you mean like the
No, like the
concept?
the
fucking idiot.
what is the word for what that is?
Like the study of human history?
The subject. But yeah, it was like a fake Anthropology podcast about like different, stupid fake cultures.
I like that idea. Like gossiping about fake
You're
gossip,
making it
gossip
gossip.
about like Cleopatra or something.
It would be
But it's
be
like fake
it'd
cultures,
be
like Atlantis.
la da da culture, and then we'd like explore it like it's a real like we're really studying like the like behaviors and the norms of like
Atlantis or
like
something.
mall culture, whatever.
mall.
But
Okay.
it didn't feel, I wasn't nailing it.
It's our two different. I like the idea a lot, but it's funny to see our two different like styles diverge. Where I'm like, oh yeah, Anthropology podcast with made up cultures. You're like, mall, and I'm thinking like
the mall. I will say
Atlantis.
the mall side was definitely a John. That was a very John episode.
John who is it?
John Riggy.
Oh
Just
yeah.
really good
Shout out John
podcast,
Riggy,
yeah.
another Philly
Big
comedian.
shout out. But yeah, but if I were to have a podcast now, I do have a podcast idea.
What's that?
But
Oh, you don't want anybody to steal it though.
But I think it could make me $1 million.
Don't do it. Don't say it. Don't say it on camera.
But here's the thing.
Don't dox your
future
self.
But I would also never do it. And that's the crazy part.
Whoa.
I think it's a guaranteed mill, and I would never do it.
Do you want to be on camera with the idea now? Do you want to have like, so if anybody in the future does it, you'd be
all right. It's public domain. Someone take this. I think this is a good idea, and actually ties right back to gossip.
Just a pure gossip
It actually
podcast.
is about gossip, but it's about the whole thing about how podcasts are so gossipy and blah blah blah. Okay, so basically, I was thinking about how podcasts are gossipy. That was like my launching point. That I think that people. Like there's so much of a pull of like just wanting to hear like someone like people's names get mentioned or whatever in like so many podcasts, and it is nasty, as I said, and now I'm forgetting what I'm talking about. Wait,
your podcast idea?
Yeah. So I was thinking, how do you really make a buck on Patreon these days? Like, what are you really gonna offer that people are just gonna want to throw their little dollars at? And the idea I had was, what if I made like honestly, maybe this exists. Oh my God, it definitely exists. Okay. Like a roast me style podcast where, like the Reddit roasts me, or like the concept of roasting someone.
You like have a guest on, and
Not
who roasts them? The audience?
I guess
the other person?
Well, I guess me. Basically, or whoever takes this idea, or maybe it's a bad idea, but basically host.
We could try this a bit.
We should try this.
I'll roast you.
Host. Well, no. This is
No?
not. Here's how it works. But now I want you to do that. But
Well, I just have a bunch of insults that I have been waiting. No, I'm kidding. It would be hard to roast you.
No. Oh, shut up.
The only thing I do have one that comes to mind, which is just you're so chaotic online that but it's fun. But I enjoy that though.
I'm chaotic online.
That I'm sometimes concerned. That I'm like, is Greer okay?
Wait,
but that's
a way you feel? Like what kind of?
I would say not lately.
What
I would
kind
say
of chaotic? Is Greer okay?
I feel like there was a time.
Yeah,
I don't know how much you want me to.
No,
go.
Go.
I feel like you were like, okay, back in maybe like 2019 or something.
Mm-hmm.
You were definitely like tweeting a lot about like doing poppers or something, and like, but like in a way that was like really
I
like.
have
Not
never.
that. I don't know if you were. I don't. Maybe not.
All right, you're talking
not
about
you
like my
doing
alt. Penny's
true.
a rare follower of my alt Twitter. I think you're referring to like my like private thoughts.
Is roast podcast a bad idea?
I've never tweeted about doing poppers.
I thought no, maybe not you doing poppers, but you tweeted about people doing them in like some space. You were tweeting about not
what? I
forget.
To know what
I forget.
I was tweeting about people doing poppers
or drugs, some sort of. Anyway, I don't remember, dude. I forget. The point is, you had some series of tweets that I was like, Greer is wilding out.
I actually do think you're referring to my alt Twitter.
Oh, for sure.
And the answer was no, I wasn't okay, but I'm good now.
Well, your alt Twitter is still you. Am I wrong?
It is still me, but there's a difference between tweeting those to the public.
Oh, true.
My alt has like 30.
Oh, I'm sorry. Am I doxing you?
Tiny little
I doxed your ass.
But okay, that's my roast.
That's your roast.
Doing poppers online.
No.
Also, that being like what makes you really concerned. You're like,
oh no, it wasn't.
Oh, she's too far gone.
No, because I know people. People do poppers. People do stuff. But you were tweeting.
Poppers is the first. Ready for this? This
is
an ally. Poppers was the first drug I ever did before drinking. First thing I ever did to my body.
That makes sense.
It was interesting.
Okay, I guess It's not. It wasn't like some specific action that it was like.
I feel like you feel
Greer's
guilty
doing a drug.
You don't need to.
Oh no, sure.
Okay.
It's like you get the idea. What?
Okay.
What?
Wait, but I was giving the energy of doing drugs.
You're good. No, not that. No. It wasn't specifically about drugs. It was like you had this energy of being really like incisive or something.
Ooh.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if that's the right word.
No, I kind of know what you're talking about.
Dude, I do it. It's like a Comedy Central roast, and it's like you're on the pedestal, and I get up there and I'm like, I just feel like your alt Twitter kind of had a strange vibe back in 2019.
I know. The thing is, I know what you're talking about. You're talking about last summer, and you're right. You're talking about last summer, and you're right. Okay. So you got me.
Oh,
You got me.
Okay, so you feel free to roast me back, or I'd also like to hear more about how you like this roast podcast.
Oh yeah. Okay, I'm gonna.
And then you can attack me. Though I feel embarrassed enough that could count as a roast.
No, that was a good one. I like that. That was a good roast. You're like, I feel like your mental health was a little shaky last summer. Potentially in 2019.
I couldn't remember what it was.
No, yeah, but it was all for show. All right, here's the podcast. No, that was good. That was awesome.
Is that what you would want the podcast to be? Is that?
Yeah.
That would have been good.
No, this is the podcast. The podcast is that you can submit, like a bunch of people submit their like profiles or what, it's like every episode I'll roast like 5 people based off of like their online. I'll just, look at their online, presence. And it's fun, and people, pay me millions of dollars because not only am I so mean, but you asked for it, but
right.
And perhaps it's hysterical, but also because it's fun because you're like, either I'm going to get mentioned or maybe someone I know will get mentioned, or I can look up who's getting mentioned. Like,
shit.
it's like a fun, I feel like that's a big appeal of like, some podcasts is you're like, wait, who are they talking about? Wait, what? You know what I mean? Like hearing about someone and then being like, what? Who's this? And so I think that's $1 million idea. That
would you have to keep it within some sort of because if you had random people online, then I guess that's how you would get.
It's random people online.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's 5 people an episode. Just go, or maybe it's Spitfire, and you listen because
really
you're trying to get mentioned, or hear someone get mentioned. It's 3 episodes a day. I'm trying to mention everyone in the world, and people are just paying because they're like, would anyone? Maybe no one would want that for themselves.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, I would want that.
Yeah,
because it's also like how
people
mean,
post on
how
the
mean could it possibly be?
subreddit. Yeah,
and I would never do like real mean. It'd be.
Well, then that people want to see real mean.
Well, then I would do real mean.
Do people want? Do you think people want to see real mean?
That's
a good question. They want to see funny.
I don't think I would be. I don't think I actually am capable of being real mean.
True.
Mm-hmm. So think about that next time you have something to say about my general vibes in 2019.
That's the only.
Personally, I'm incapable of being mean.
If this helps, that's the only roast I had.
Yeah. No, it's fine. It was a tough summer. Hot summer in LA. COVID, Well, COVID was on its way out, but then it came back. Mm-hmm.
You're assuming that it. You said last summer, so you think I'm talking about 2021? Okay, sure.
I know what you're talking about. It was it was.
Okay.
And it was my alt, and that was a cool roast.
Do you have a roast? Is that
okay? What's my roast? I mean, I guess now it's like you're like really mean. Mean.
Oh no!
I'm kidding. My roast. This is really. I'm like saying that I'm gonna make $1 million on roasting, and I'm like, my roast.
But you can do. Strangers is different than the friend.
My roast is that you're posting reels, and that's insane.
That's embarrassing.
But it does give me the idea to post some reels myself. So it's a roast, but also is giving me an idea.
For sure, that's a very that's a very gentle roast. That's a light. I do think that it is embarrassing, the self-promotion game. I'm literally playing it right now. I'm doing a podcast.
Yeah.
To for my comedy.
It's so hard. It really is so hard. And I know even talking about it is bad, but it like actually is the most devastating thing.
It is.
On
it
earth.
is. Because I used to.
And actually, I never judge anyone else for doing it. I only respect people for doing it. So that roast was a lie. Anyways, go on.
I appreciate that. If you think of a good roast, feel free to just undercut me at any time. Shit, fucking. It's like I would post stories previously, and I try to have them be funny or like interesting or whatever. But now when I'm posting stories, it's like, hey, I'm doing this show on Thursday, and it's like, oh, my friends from Philly watching it. They're not coming to the show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, who's it? It feels like it's for a very small group of people. I don't know.
Do you want to hear an idiom that I invented?
Sure. Yeah, I'd love to.
Which is related to
absolutely.
In fact, I want to use it to describe how it feels to be in that situation. is it's sweeping at the beach. And I will give credit. I invented it with my brother-in-law. But it's the concept of like, I mean, it's kind of just like a fool's errand. You know, imagine someone sweeping at the beach trying to get rid of the sand.
Right.
But it is especially with like self-promotion and stuff where I'm like, I'm like posting this for like the 5 people I know who only will come because they want me to come to their thing. Like, it just feels like I'm sweeping at the beach.
No,
you
I
know?
definitely feel that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of how, I'm trying to like imagine who the 5 people are in the beach scenario. But I do, yeah.
Yeah. No, but I want to get better.
That tick just now was like me masking a burp.
Okay, nice.
Sometimes I do that. Sometimes it's like I'll have a half tick, half hiccup or burp or something.
That's cool.
Or cough or whatever, you know. Is that cool or is that kind of you can roast me for that. I'm just gonna keep asking for that.
I think it's cool, and I think to be able to mask a burp so gracefully, I see no problem there. But keep trying to get me to roast you.
I'm gonna be as weird as possible to get you to like turn against me.
Yeah. I'm like, that's perfect. That was perfect.
I was talking to a friend. The idea is like, if I'm weird to enough Brooklyn women, that I should be considered a contributor at Reductress.
You're single-handedly funding Reductress?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if I say strange enough things to the... What's that?
I just have a thought about Reductress and even Clickle and The Onion. Whenever people work there, I'm like, how? What is that? I'm like, what does that look like? You know what I mean? Are they making money? Is there like an office? Like, I literally... Everyone works at Clickhole, and I'm like... Where?
I'm not sure.
When?
I think it depends, because I know a couple people.
Yeah,
who,
everybody
like,
works at Clickhole.
It seems like it seems like it's
We're
like
the 2 only
levels or
people that
something.
don't work at Clickhole, Reductress, or The Onion.
Yeah.
But I'm like, when did you? And what is that like?
I
really cannot imagine. They're like,
I don't know. Do you think your vibe would be correct for a Reductress article? Like your sense of humor? Because I feel like your sense of humor is.
Reductress?
No, it's not.
Oh.
That's like, you know what I mean? That's what I'm saying.
I think that.
You're not very high femme.
Okay.
Sorry. No, I'm trying to be. Just being mean until you fight back.
You're like, and also all the information. Now I'm like, Benny's off my alt. You're like, well, you said the other day you hate women and you're on drugs. I'm like, all right, hold the phone. You're out, Buster. I think I would love the I'm going to write a Reductress article just for the challenge of it today. I think I could do it.
Do you think you're more Clickhole style, or like what do you think you're?
I hate this question.
No, I don't know. That's it. Yeah. What you were saying, you don't know.
But if I had to answer that, it would be more Clickhole. I don't know. Suppose.
Yeah, it's a kind of Hogwarts house of Brooklyn alt comedy.
It is. We need a 4th. What's the 4th?
Babylon B.
What is that?
McSweeney's. Babylon B was that like really conservative one that was like horrible.
Conservative Onion?
Yeah. It got banned from Twitter for like a trans
Slytherin?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean Slytherin? Conservative. Yeah, I don't know. But I do wonder if they're making money and how everyone is working there.
I think it's like $40 an article from what I've heard. Yeah, which is not that good.
That is not good.
No,
in fact,
but not to put them on blast.
And
but
yet,
I don't know.
it would
or
actually
to put them on. I think they're trying to unionize,
really?
which is
that's
good.
cool.
And by they, I mean I think Onion people in particular.
Okay.
I don't know if the other two are what the umbrella is. I don't know anything.
I need to look into this. I need to understand that organizational structure. $40 it's not good, but also I'm like, that would mean the world to me. $40? That sounds amazing.
Wait, not to do
yeah.
the classic interview actual question, but I'm curious what your comedy goals are. Because you were just saying you stopped doing stand-up, but...
Yeah, but I never was like doing that much stand-up. I guess I kind of was like towards the end of my Philly times was
Can
doing it more frequently.
I'll give you I'm going to interject with a compliment.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Just the abstract idea of a
Thank you
compliment.
even
I'm not
for
gonna say it,
thinking
but
of that. No.
just so you know.
I know what it is.
No, so PowerPoint comedy is often not good.
Yeah.
And when I saw you do it, I was like, "Oh, that's really funny."
Oh my God, thank you.
So, yeah.
I will say that I'm self-conscious about doing PowerPoint comedy, but I have a very bad memory, which I like always was like, I have bad stage fright. And then I was like, no, I just have a bad memory. Like it is, I like cannot. That was why stand-up was hard for me, was I was like, I can't remember. What?
Well, PowerPoint, that's useful then. It's got the, right? It's got all this.
That's why I
like
would do it.
oh, man,
I
that's what you're
literally was
saying?
just like, I can't. And also I do like an image. But like I really had a bad memory and it was like making me bad at stand-up. And then I started doing the PowerPoint comedy and I was like, honestly, this is changing everything for me.
Well, speaking of memory, memorizing that, I remember it. Like I remember your a specific bit where it's like, you slowly built what you like yourself in your fashion, like in your mother's eyes, and like made a weird freaky character slowly come to life in the PowerPoint with a series of like collaged images.
I squeezed that one for all it was worth. That was probably the thing I did the most ever.
That's good.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. So what's your goal? So if you're not doing that anymore, though,
yeah,
what's the career?
Well, okay, I did have like a big like swearing off performing, also kind of in a stage frighty way where I was just like, I don't think like I wasn't. Well, I guess some people were performing during COVID in different ways, but I didn't. And then a
lot of people were being performative online. Am I right?
Well, yeah. No, I was like, maybe I should take my talents elsewhere.
Yeah, they're taking PowerPoint comedy to the damn Instagram slides.
The Instagram story is my medium. But I did like a big, like, I never want to perform again. I don't even think I'm supposed to. I don't think I'm like necessarily a natural performer. But then I did a show recently and I had so much fun. And I was like, okay, maybe actually it's just stand up that I don't really want to do, but I do want to keep performing.
What did you do in that show?
I did a show where it was just like a concept show, but it was like the idea was people would show work that, you know, like their art that flopped and defend it as being like too genius for people to understand.
Is that The Illusion?
Yeah.
For sure. Okay.
And I did it with my friend Jessie, also from the One Woman Show. And
I don't know her, do I?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But everyone should.
Shout out Jessie.
Shout out Jessie. But we would run like little tests on all of the different art to like prove that it was genius. So there was like a thing where I get goosebumps very easily. We like projected my arm during the thing to see whether my like skin would raise. Like it was that kind of thing. Not much, no memorization involved, just vibes. And I had so much fun. So we're gonna do that again, and I'm excited. But I think my overall goal, I really want to make a movie. I want to make a funny movie, and I know there's like a million steps in between.
Do you what part, like kind of the whole thing? Like you want to like write it and then direct and act, or like what's the element?
I kind of don't want to. Well, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think I don't like love being on camera, but I want to write it, and I usually am like, and someone else will direct it. And then sometimes I'm like, but while I'm here, like I might as well direct it. But the steps between what I'm currently doing and this fictional movie there's so much for me to do in between now and there. So it's all been me kind of trying to figure out what those steps are.
Yeah.
But sure. I've been like helping other people with their movies, which feels like a good step.
Doing what?
I like literally anything. This is my new like ethos is I'll do anything anyone asks me to do creatively. Anything. I will do anything anyone asks me to do.
Make a mental note.
Anything ever. I'll do it for free. I will do it. But I've like
you don't want that out there.
I mean, it's like, true.
When are we gonna get paid again?
It just is true. You might not want me to do it, but I would do it. But I've you know helped. I've done, you know, like punch up type stuff to people's scripts, and I production designed a short. I styled a short, that was the one where I was like, all right, I shouldn't be doing this.
Wait, why's that? Are you, like, why not?
I'm like not like a fashion knower. Like
Like you did the fashion style.
Yeah,
I thought you
like
meant like you did like the like aesthetic vibe or something of the short. You like literally did
I like put clothing on people. And I was
you
like
costumed.
Costumed to short. I mean, no one was like supposed to look good, so that was helpful. But even still, I was like, that was one where I was like,
is that why they had you do it? They're like not supposed to look good, so if
like,
they want people to look bad, they bring in like a bad costume designer.
But I couldn't even make people look bad well. Like just stuff didn't fit. It was like
like totally incorrect.
But I know it. I mean, it ended up being totally fine. But yeah, that's kind of been. I'm like, I don't really know how to get to the point that I want to get to of making an amazing movie. So I'm just gonna pretty much do whatever comes into my brain before then and hope that it's leading me in the right path. But I'm extremely not strategic. I'm extremely not career minded to like, I kind of just started realizing like, oh, I want like money. I like want and to like make things that are bigger than what I'm making. So that's a new realization for me.
I definitely I can't wait for 10 to 15 years from now to see a rough cut.
Yeah, literally. I mean, that's not the wrong timeline.
Oh, I hope it happens sooner. I hope people see this. Whatever 5 friends of yours that watch this, that's who. People that watch the episodes are like some randos, and then everybody,
friends.
and then friends of the people.
And haters.
It's and haters.
You think my haters are gonna be
A lot of
eating this up with a spoon?
Detractors. Yeah, everybody who's like
haters.
yeah. So maybe an industry, all the industry people that. It's nothing but pure industry that watches this podcast.
You have a purely industry base.
They want to have their finger on the pulse,
You're
and
like,
they go.
I didn't know that she wanted to make a movie. Oh my god, what an original thought!
Expect a call from Lorne.
Yeah,
not that Lorne, different Lorne.
A different Lorne.
It's a guy.
Expect a call from the other Lorne.
The other Lorne.
Lorne too. But yeah, what are your goals?
I would like to do stand-up comedy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I don't know.
You're so good at it.
I appreciate that. And I would really love to do. I just want to do it for a living. You know what I mean?
You want to like tour doing stand-up?
That's the dream for sure. Trying to get to that point. Getting closer, hopefully.
Okay.
Every day I feel like I'm getting closer, but every day it's not happened yet. You know what I mean?
I've got it. I
gotta post these reels until.
Genius, but with Benny. The Kanye documentary of wait, no.
Oh, I think I've seen. I'm familiar. I'm familiar with the idea. Yeah.
But with the idea of how it was made.
No, I don't know.
Oh, it was like a guy was like, this guy's got promise, and like followed around Kanye from like, him being like, please, I want to be Kanye West, and everyone would be like, no. But that's the movie. There it is. I'd have to just follow you around for the next 10 to 15.
That sounds good.
But it happened. You break through in like a year, but it takes me 10 years to get a rough cut.
I think the trouble with I feel like Kanye behind the scenes was probably being a lot more interesting than I am. I think behind the scenes I'm going like, what's funny about dogs? You know what I mean?
But is that your process? You just random
not exactly.
topics? That is not my process.
It's I would say
me and my little brother are just like, give me a word. Yeah.
Do you write with your siblings?
Tweets, yes.
Yeah.
My little brother is honestly like my ghostwriter. I mean, not I guess anymore, but we just like text workshop tweets all the time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah. Because there's some things for, I mean, I've written plenty of his, but there are things of where he gives me an idea and I'm like, yeah, on like a little boy, that's not gonna work, but on a woman living on her own in LA, that's gonna hit crazy. So I've had full things that he just gave me, and I'm like, perfect.
That's what's up. Yeah, I mean,
you
like,
need that.
Or if Cameron will come up with like not that this happens, but like if we're riffing about like Tourette's or something, like the Tourette's jokes they go to me.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Or
You
if
got
I-
ownership over those.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But I would say, or just, instead of roasting me, you gave me a very kind compliment, which is that you're comparing me to Kanye West, which I appreciate. However, I think we're a bit different.
Yeah.
But I do. But I don't know.
How? You can't think
Probably
of
a bunch of
anything?
ways. He's got synesthesia.
Does he?
A bunch
Yeah.
of. I don't know. Hopefully we're different. I feel like
I
he's
don't-
got a different vibe than different people.
You think synesthesia is real?
What musician are you like?
Hmm?
I do think synesthesia is real.
Okay. I just sounds a little too cool. I just am jealous.
My old roommate had it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Or he said he did.
Hmm?
Shout out Kevin McBride.
It just
if you
I'm
had
like
it.
everyone amazing has this amazing kind of situation.
Do you have any neurological disabilities?
Is it? I actually
Or
okay.
not disability,
Erase all of
abilities?
this. Erase all of this. I just
It's not a disability.
It's a cool
is
one.
it?
I was thinking it's like synesthesia and like colorblindness and like I guess I was talking today about how I wish I was colorblind because that's like such a funky little thing.
Just get to be like,
yeah, it's just like
just get to say it.
yeah.
So if you were if you
I
had
had
a disability,
Yeah. Okay.
what would the documentary about your life be like? If the cameras were on you and they're like following Greer as you're making a movie, like what's
is me staring
is
in the
a-
mirror for like 15 hours
Yeah.
in my apartment that's 80% bathroom. I don't know. I don't know that I would be wanting to watch that documentary.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I think that's how I
Like
kind
a
of felt.
Pretty
I'm like,
bad movie.
I think people behind the scenes, I'm just like, I'm staring at the wall. I'm laying on that bed over there, like zoning out, listening to fucking new metal.
I'm on the phone a lot. That's like a new,
Really?
yeah, it's kind of like a COVID habit that I picked up. But I'm like almost always
Are you on the phone in the bathroom?
I'm like on the phone I'm almost always on the phone.
When you say, do you mean calling or do you mean like text, like on
no,
Twitter?
calling. I hate
Really?
texting. No, I'm always on a phone call for some
Really?
reason. Yeah,
That's fun.
When I'm older, I'm gonna be like a customer service for fun person, 100%. But I actually am trying to kick the habit because I don't. Again, I'm like, it's ruining my inner monologue that I'm just spewing all day aimlessly at whoever will. I can't believe people are answering at this point.
Word. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, for sure.
It's crazy.
I'm gonna start calling people. I'm gonna call my old friends.
Calling people is the most fun thing on earth to me. I don't know. I like literally it breaks up my day like crazy. I love to like call someone and like be doing something else while they're on the phone and then have them be like, "Why are you calling?" And I'm like, "Huh? Like, why are you asking?" Yeah, I love being on the phone. But I do think I've almost exhausted my victims. So if anyone wants me to do any free work or wants to talk on the phone,
We'll decide whether or not I want to call Greer after the.
I will. Oh my God, I dream of an unexpected call.
I'll give you I'll call you when you on like 3 a.m. or something.
I'll answer and I will not let you leave. Like that's the crazy part. It's getting really bad.
I'll give you a call sometime. I think that'd be
I
funny.
would love. I'm
Yeah.
so serious. I love talking on the phone.
That'd be fun.
And it's because I, of course, live in Los Angeles. I'm in the car all the time.
Let me put your number out there.
Oh, yeah.
No.
3.
Wait, you're in the car all the time, like driving around LA. So you doing like you hook it up to the car and just like talk on speaker.
Yeah. It's heaven on earth to me is driving around with my friend in the car.
That's like That's like a podcast live
Whoa! I have a concept. Comedians in the car
from a distance.
getting coffee. That just gave me a genius idea. Yeah, no, I do it a lot. And I feel like I'm like, I don't know. I need to cut it out. It's a bad habit I'm learning.
Wait, hold on. Let me check. Just checking the time.
Wait, so what's the deal? Half of this is Patreon and half is
So we'll do an hour for normal people and then we'll do an hour for Patreon.
I feel like this was almost the Patreon hour, but I'm not gonna think about it.
We consider. Yeah.
Really?
I mean, this has been great. I got self-conscious about when you compared me to Kanye West. And I'm like, how modest should I be?
I think that you are exactly like Kanye West.
I'm like, I'm like squirming. I'm like, I don't know that
you're pursuing your dreams.
Because it's like on the one hand, like that's the, you know what I mean? I would love for that to be that's the goal. That's entirely the goal is for things to go well.
Comedy?
No, not that. But to have things go well.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Of course.
But then at the same time, I don't want to be like, yes, it's me.
Yeah.
I'm in Kanye. I'm just Kanye West who hasn't popped yet. You know what I mean?
You know, I feel that way about comedy in general, and this is something that I really have to get over really, really badly. But because I haven't I haven't even done a ton of comedy, but I didn't start doing comedy until I guess I did it for 2 years before COVID. I don't know why I always am and then everything stopped forever. I guess that's what 3 years ago or 4 years. Anyways, whatever. The point is,
right.
I don't have the longest history of doing comedy. But when I started doing it, I was like, well, now I'm not funny anymore. Now that I'm being I'm funny, I'm officially not funny anymore at all.
It's an annoying thing. It's like a
yeah.
You know what I mean? You have to you can't tell people. You ever tell someone you're a comedian and they don't think you're funny immediately because they. I told my doctor
people
one time I do comedy,
that.
and they were like, "Oh, you haven't been funny this whole time." I'm like, "All right, well, you asked what I do. I don't know how I'm trying to."
People really want you to fail when you say that. It's one of the worst things you could tell someone. I just started. I stopped. For a very long time. I mean, it's COVID. I just wasn't doing comedy in COVID, except for being on Twitter.
Right.
But I would be, whenever anyone asked what I did, I'd be like, I used to do comedy, and then you know what? Couple weeks ago, I tried on I'm a Comedian for the first time in so long.
How'd it feel?
And I was like, I love it!
Oh!
I was like, I love it!
It's like an old outfit.
Yeah. It sounds Cosby, but it's not because I'm not going to say a name. But I had a friend who does much more comedy than me tell me that I wasn't a comedian. And that really hurt my feelings.
Whoa.
Even though I was at the time saying I'm not a comedian. And then they were like, that's right, you're not. And I was like, well, actually, I am one. But yeah.
Your face just looked the most like your Abby it ever has when you made, because I think that's kind of the face you're making in the picture.
That's an old one.
The old, not the current one.
That was kind of the classic.
Yeah.
But yeah. But I'm identifying as a comedian.
No, for sure. It's embarrassing. I guess my point is, I spiraled a little bit mentally just now before when and it's it's an embarrassing thing where it's we're so obviously pursuing. We're putting out reels.
Yeah.
We're doing stories with show posters.
Of course you are.
It'd be nice to. What do you think? I don't know. What's instead of that to just somehow not put out self-promo and just somehow vibe until you're. No.
I mean, look, I've tried to do that. That's what I was trying to do until recently. I was trying to vibe my way into being a comedian.
It wasn't. And they were like, "Well, you're not a comedian."
And then people were being like, "You don't do comedy," and I was like, "Oh, you have a point." So now I'm back. You gotta self-promote. I'm totally getting at reels.
There's there's some performance element online of doing comedy that you have to that is big. If you do stand up in a room for 20 people. Nobody online knows the tree in a forest or whatever.
I've been talking about this so much lately about how I need to figure out how to. This is also the whole I want to make a big movie thing. Is that there's pretty much no evidence I've ever made anything in my entire life. And I've put thousands of hours into comedy, but I've never taped a set.
You should film. Yeah,
I know. I have iPhone videos of sets that are But yeah, there's almost not a trace of proof in a way that makes me sad, and I want to change that. I'm trying to really have a little lasting imprint starting now. But even with the show, I put a billion hours into the show.
We're not recording this, by the way. It's just us hanging out.
Is that true?
No.
I mean, I get the joke.
Yeah,
this is my entire oeuvre at this point. Is this podcast?
Is that how you say that word?
I don't want to say it again because I got stressed about how I said it.
I've never said it out loud. I've never seen it.
I've only
seen it online. I've never like I would go like oeuvre.
I was kind of trying to be French about it because it is a French word for work. No. Yes. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
I think it is. But anyways.
Do you think what do you think about your oeuvre?
I think it's this. I think this is the entire thing.
It's part of it.
No, this is it.
This is it. Oh, this is the only video you have online.
Of like public stuff.
Whoa,
yeah. This is the first video I've ever. It was like TikTok for a while, but then I deleted all of them.
Yo, your TikTok was so funny. It's your bio is 14 Australia.
Yeah.
People would always comment, "You don't look 14."
That was an interesting time. That was also what maybe you were referring to when you said, "Is she okay?" Could be that as well.
When did you stop doing TikTok? Because so you've been doing online comedy. You've been putting out like stuff. Why'd you delete all that? That was so good.
So it actually, some of it is still there, but it's private now. I don't know. People were just telling me I was ugly, and I was like, okay, well, I'll never do this again. No, I don't know. I don't love being on camera. I like being a little like cryptic and anonymous, you know? That's why I'm like, I write something, and like that's the show that I just did was the first thing I've ever done where like I wrote something and I'm not performing in it, and I was like, this is really nice.
Yeah.
This feels amazing.
You like get to do the jokes but don't have to be the face.
Yeah.
For sure.
Oh my god, it was heaven on earth. And now I'm like, I need to do that way more.
Yeah, you should ghostwrite like a podcast.
Ghostwrite a podcast.
Yeah, like I'm thinking like I'm trying to think about that roast.
Hours of of riffing.
You know that thing celebrities read mean tweets?
Mm-hmm.
The thing is they always pull the punches, and the tweets are like really kind of half flattering stuff sometimes, where it's like, you know, but you should do one where you write joke, like people have to read them, but you just write really cruel stuff.
You're inventing my roast podcast?
Yeah.
Organically?
But I'm saying yeah, you should, but they just read it about themselves.
Oh. But okay.
I'm saying your roast podcast.
I see, but I don't have to do
you don't have to do it.
Of
Yeah.
Okay, there's something there.
And nobody ever knows it's you, so you can say anything you want to.
Yes, that is a good idea. And it's like who?
Just an hour of somebody debasing themselves.
Oh, it's one guest per episode reading their own roast.
You write an hour-long script of. I go in there and like the Tourette's is ugly or whatever.
That's my award-winning roast that gets me $1 million. Yeah, there's something with maybe the roast me podcast isn't a good idea. The more I talk about it, I'm like, it's lost its shine. There was a minute though where I was like, that is a cash cow.
You know, it's funny. It's funny that that's the concept you put out there, but the actual show you did was a very kind show. Like, what's your form of bad art? And let's see. You know what I mean? Let's see what's good about it.
Oh yeah, no, that was a nice positive show.
Yeah,
it was a chance for people to kind of.
Are you secretly positive vibes? Sorry.
I think that I'm secretly positively thinking about life.
I should say, well, how secret is that? Are you generally positive?
I think I can. Well,
in person, you're very positive.
I think I'm pretty positive, honestly, but mixed with a hint of you think I'm gonna be negative. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah. I think I'm a kind of positive optimist in my core.
I do think say you're very funny and observing. So you're the sort of person where if I'm like fucking up something, I'm like, oh, Greer's noticing. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean?
You feel my evil judgment?
No, not that you're judging, but that you would notice. Observe. I feel like you would observe. If I fucked up something, I feel like you would observe it.
Interesting. I feel like I'm not very perceptive.
No?
I really don't feel. I feel like I'm not very perceptive because I'm thinking so much about if I'm being the one making the mistake, you know? Which leads. Well, no. Never mind. Okay, I'll say it. I was so nervous for the podcast, but we don't have to do this. We don't have to do this. But I was so nervous for the podcast, I wasn't gonna have anything to say. So I made a list of fun facts and then conversations that could be had off of them.
You know what we could do? We could save that for the Patreon. So that there's a little cliffhanger hook.
Okay.
People have to. How are we doing?
Oh, that just made me so excited.
We do like 10 more minutes.
Made me so excited for the Patreon. I'm shaking.
You know what? You want to do one now, just to give them a little taste.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This is what I made. This is a thing I was unfortunately doing. Fun facts, Benny's podcast. This was a date move of mine this was a cool dating move of mine.
You would like.
I really would be so nervous for a date. And I always felt like a date was gonna be like a quiz. I always feel like a date is like an IQ test. So like someone's gonna like whip out a map and like be like label everything. And so
has that happened to you?
It's always like about to happen. And so I would make a list of questions, and I was like, that'll be a cute little endearing thing that if I don't have anything to say, I'll be like, haha, I'm so weird, I made a list of questions, but then also we'll be limited to the questions, and actually I really do like guided conversation. So I was like it'd be funny because it'll seem like a bit, but it's actually extremely real. And I don't know what I would do without this list.
There was some like New York Times article or something where it's like
I know the one.
So is this based off of
the
that?
love questions?
Yeah,
no, mine had
like
nothing to do with that. Mine were always
what was the love questions?
The love questions was like, it was like 46 questions to make anyone fall in love. And for some reason it was like really viral.
Were they any good?
No, it was like biggest love regret. Like it was
it was New York Times.
Yeah, it was like what does how does your father make you feel? Like it was that type of shit. My questions were always like, ever been to Paris? And why or why not? Like it was stupid shit. Yeah. Or it always would be like related to like the few. It's always like I know like 3 facts about someone, and then I would turn that into 10 questions somehow.
You're gonna hate me mentioning this, but I saw another article about like eye contact. Whenever I think about
suddenly
eye
I'm like,
that's the one. It's like this. I'm like looking away now.
I know now. I'm looking so hard.
It's like
I've been struggling with eye contact lately.
I don't think about it until I think about it. You know what I mean? Like now I'm looking too.
Now it's too much eye contact.
Too much.
But and actually that's the final test of the love challenge, is that you stare at each other's eyes
for
for like.
But that's part
3
of
minutes.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because
that seals the deal. Is you do these things that you stare at each other's eyes for 3 minutes.
There was like a different article. It was either a different article or I just heard about that one. But it's saying like, to fall in love with somebody, like just meet them and then silently stare into each other's eyes, and then that'll do it.
I'm gonna start like tricking people into doing the 46 love questions in 3 minutes of eye contact. I'm like, wait, I have a crazy question.
What are my eyes? What color are my eyes?
Wait, there's something in your eye. It's like a spell I'm trying to cast. But wait, the love questions, my date questions. I have questions.
You're gonna do a.
No, but it was about the love questions. I don't know.
The New York Times ones?
Yeah, I don't know. I lost the thought. Okay, should I do one?
Well, yes, and then I have another. Well, actually, I don't want to lose this train of thought too. My ex-girlfriend from college had told me that this is like just a fun fact, which is like when you look into someone's eyes for like more than 7 seconds, it means you're either trying to fuck or fight.
Whoa.
Like, shit, I don't know, like a pop psychology thing. I don't know if that's actually true, but that's.
I don't
know if that's true because I'm talking to you because I'm doing a podcast, but I don't know.
I'm staring at your eyes intensely because I'm planning a fight. But okay, mine was about eye contact. The thing I was gonna say is that I've been struggling with eye contact lately. I've been noticing that I'm struggling with eye contact, and I think it's also because I just am not as social here as I am, or I'm more social here than I am in LA.
Wait, what? What's that?
I'm not that social in LA. I want to be more social.
Does that have to do
if
with
anyone wants to be more social.
Is that a geographical
I'm on your
distance
podcast
thing?
begging for jobs and friends.
Please
and phone calls. I'm
please
like,
call Greer and look in her eyes.
Call me,
She
look
needs
at my
it.
eye. No, it's because I mean, yeah, it's because of, it's LA. Like, I think it's because I also really didn't know people, like, when I moved to LA, and then I moved there during the pandemic, and then, like, my best friends in LA are, like, my brothers and, like, my, like, best friend from forever. The point is, like, I am social, but, like, I always have someone that I'm, like, basically related to with me. And so I just, like, haven't done a lot of, like, just kind of, like, I'm out in the town, like, set, loose on a city.
Have you joined the comedy scene there yet? I feel like that would be, like, a big...
I have honestly just started dabbling.
Right.
I, like, really,
right.
I want to be a part of the LA comedy scene. But I like really didn't do much for a while. Social. I'm very social with, like, the people that I'm social with. I'm, like, spending so much time with the same, like, 5 people total. But here I'm a lot more, like, in the town, and, like, I don't have, a relative with me. And so I've been noticing that I've, like, my eyes are dark. I'm just thinking about it more. Yeah. Like, I'm not even feeling anxious with people, but I am anxious that they know that I always hang out with my brothers in LA mostly. And so I'm just like...
I did not know that.
You didn't know that?
No.
Okay, I'm giving, like, the popular queen.
You're giving vibes that you're having a blast out in LA.
I am. I'm having an amazing time with my brothers.
Yeah.
But I feel like, okay, with Patreon, I feel like I'm just saying off friends.
Oh, yeah. We got to do one of these questions.
Okay.
Before we,
But anyways, I'm more social here
soon.
than I am there. And because I'm more social here, I'm just more conscious of, like, what it's like to meet Greer. And I'm like, whoa, I'm not making enough eye contact. I need to stop.
It's hard to know. It's hard. Well, yeah. I mean, if you're definitely not, then
I'm just not meeting tons of new people in LA all the time. And here I always am meeting, like, and it's just proximity and whatever. And I'm just like, whoa, that's my thing, is I can't look anyone in the eye. It's like, oh my God.
my thing with meeting people, if I have a spike in nerves, I have, like, way more Tourette's. So, like, when I meet somebody for the first time, I'm always, like, the most Tourette's I've had. And then I calm down a bit. Like, when I'm chill, there's less tics. And so it's like, then they're like, oh, I thought you were, like, I'm like, that's, it comes and goes. That's my thing with meeting people.
Yeah.
Read a damn question.
Okay. Okay.
We can keep
This is
forever,
related. This is related. Ready?
Yeah.
So these are not questions. These are fun facts. And then I have, like, a spin-off.
Oh, yes.
Thing.
Greer's fun facts.
Okay, so here's one that's related. Women blink more than men. And then in parentheses, two times. Women blink twice as... Okay, let me try it all again. Women blink twice as much as men. And then my follow-up was contemplate why. Right? That's a good one.
I'm thinking about it. Wait, is that for real?
Uh-huh. I mean,
twice as much?
According to I searched, I didn't just search fun facts, I searched most fun facts.
That's like high level fun fact.
Yeah.
It's like top shelf. Is that true for other animals? That'd be interesting.
You have reached the limits of my knowledge about
this. True.
I know one thing.
Is that?
Which is that they blink twice as much as men. I'm truly stumped. That's the thing. I'm truly stumped. I think it may be... I really was hoping you were going to have, like, an awesome answer. Now
I'm thinking about it. My thing that came to mind was they have smaller bladders, and then I'm like, what does that have to do? Because it's like, when it's like people discuss the, like, women go to the bathroom way more often. It's like they have small... I'm like, is that some sort of difference in...
Right, they're related. They're linked somehow. It's just more.
Aren't tears
impatient.
Urine slightly or something? I don't know.
They're more impatient, and there's something about fluids. I think that it's.
I didn't have a funny answer. I just for real thought about it.
No, I'm really
Yeah.
thinking about it.
Yeah.
I didn't think any of this would be funny at all. This was the most serious question.
I wonder if there's some sort of social element to it. It's like women are like, is blinking related to nervousness, and then are women in the study more nervous or something? You know what I mean?
You're approaching this the exact right way, which is what is blinking? What is blinking? That's what we have to figure out.
Oh, women have dirtier eyes. That's what it is.
It's dirtier eyes. It's, you know, they want to be asleep more. They want less awake time. Women are sleepy. No,
that could be. Do you think that's something?
It's more rest.
Like the women, like, okay, maybe women sleep just as much as men, but maybe they need to sleep a little bit more.
They need a little
biologically,
extra.
but just on average they're getting the same amount, and so
Every blink is like a split second of sleep.
Damn, I'm just completely just making stuff up about biology.
Right. I don't know. Maybe that was a flop. Okay, but there's some really good ones coming your way.
Wow. Yep. If you liked that, which doubtful.
If for some reason you liked that, well, you are in for a dirty little time, because I've got some very similar.
I also have an
away.
addendum, just some housekeeping.
Oh.
That I got to do. Just the idea. I talked previously. I was going to pay the guest half the money from Patreon. I'm deciding not to do that.
And you want to tell everyone that on the podcast to me live?
Well, because I told it last podcast. So I'm trying to or 2 podcasts ago. So I'm just trying to like clarify that I'm trying to maybe do 20%.
I don't want a cent.
Well, okay, that's what the guests keep saying.
I don't want a cent.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
Cut to like 5 minutes ago, maybe like $40 would change my life.
Well, part of it is like if it goes better, I want to pay the guests more. And the reason I'm switching it from 50, the idea of 50% was the guests are doing half the labor. And the reason I'm switching it to 20 is because that's a more accurate representation of the labor.
That's not,
because I'm doing a bunch of stuff behind the scenes. I'm doing like all the setup and then like the editing and all that shit.
I think it's 10%, if I'm being honest.
Well, 20%. I don't know. I did a rough guess of. I don't know. I'm trying to be.
No, that's fair enough.
I'm trying to be like, I'm trying to pay the guests what their labor amount is. You know what I mean?
You want to know something that's plaguing me?
What's that?
About guests and paying, is that when I did my.
Oh, speaking to the mic.
When I did my show, the one comedy show I had done in 85 years, I still haven't. I'm planning on paying all the guests, but I still haven't opened the check.
And wait, paying yourself in what?
I haven't touched the check yet from that show. And I'm like, oh my God, no one's getting paid from that show for some reason. I don't know, whatever. Actually, this is stressing me out, and I'll think about it later.
Yeah. Payment is stressful. It's like hard to figure out exactly.
It's really.
You know what I mean?
I'm one of the worst with money people ever.
But you want it to be like, equitable or correct or whatever.
I know, I really do. But I also like have a thing where I never expect to get paid, ever.
Right. But then when you do, it's nice, and I feel like you're more likely to do that show again. Not that a podcast is. Not that anybody wants to do a podcast twice, but
I would do this podcast every day if asked.
While you're in town.
Anything anyone asks of me creatively, I will do for free. That was the statement I said earlier. And
We can close this episode on that.
Yep.
That's the first episode, folks.
All right.
If you want to hear some
more
of Greer's prompts.
The other ones are really good and crazy. And I'd pay for them.
Oh, and also a whole bunch of hot gossip.
Oh yeah.
All right. See ya. I just licked the mic.